Hello, everyone. Can y'all hear me okay? What is up, Art Tanner? What's up over on YouTube, guys? What is up on TikTok? Hello, y'all. What is up? Yay, awesome. For some whatever reason, I always get like feared that my mic is not going to work because one time we got on here and I was yapping for like a good 10 to 15 minutes and it was not working. And I was not reading my chat that day either, so that was also a reason. Well, guys, you guys have me for a while today. We've got to do some severe weather coverage here. We've got some significant severe weather ongoing across Montana. About said Montana into North Dakota, South Dakota, into Kansas, into Nebraska. Today is day one of a significant severe weather threat. I'm going to kind of call this a multi-day event. I want to say necessarily an outbreak, but this is a multi-day severe weather episode that we're going to be seeing today, tomorrow. Tuesday and Wednesday look more concerning, and getting into Thursday as well. Thursday looks very concerning in the Northeast. We've got a lot of areas that are going to be under the gun for significant severe weather here over the next week, I would say. And then even going past this week here, we're going to see more severe weather through the end of the month of June before things maybe start to kind of lower again as we go towards July. At some point here, we got to get severe weather out here and get a ridge going. I'm about sick of seeing rain chances every single day. I know you guys are as well. So I'm going to go ahead and run over briefly here the different watches that we have currently out, so everybody's aware of these severe thunderstorm watches that are out today. Today is mostly a damaging wind threat and a hail threat. There is an isolated tornado component. We've not had but like 2 or 3 tornado warnings so far today, but then again, also it's still a very early in the afternoon here. It's also mountain time, so it's only about 6:30 for mountain time where the storms are happening at. If you guys can't see, look on the bottom of your screen here. 3 days of enhanced risk zones. I'm going to be straight honest with you guys. I think we get a day 4 enhanced, and we get another enhanced here. I think we're probably going to have 5 days in a row of enhanced severe weather here, maybe even a moderate risk as we go towards Wednesday. So we're going to have to see how things shake out here over the next couple of days. We're going to be very busy over the next couple of days here, keeping you guys updated, keeping y'all severe weather coverage going as well. The reason why I didn't get on until now was because storms didn't really start initiating until later on this afternoon, until this evening hours. It's going to be more late evening overnight event across Montana and the Dakotas today. So my big days to watch. All days are clearly significant to watch. I do want to watch tomorrow, especially up in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We're going to have to watch you guys tomorrow. We're going to have to definitely watch Wichita, Kansas on Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday are going to be interesting. Wednesday could be a very sneaky big-time tornado day potentially across the lower Ohio Valley in the Midwest, and then on Thursday we're going to move things into the Northeast. We'll probably get a transition day on Friday. We don't have any severe weather expected right now on Friday from the Storm Prediction Center, and then we get Saturday and Sunday will also be interesting. We'll start to see severe weather again in the high plains. Maddie, to answer your question on YouTube, yes, if you guys are not aware, you guys also, for my subscribers that are here on TikTok, if you would like to, and you can also become a member on YouTube. It's like $4, I think, to do that. There's different perks for the different membership tiers. We did get that finally unlocked on YouTube. There are also super chats as well. If you guys do want to donate, you guys can do that. The best way to do that is going to be on YouTube. So if you are on TikTok and you would like to do that, you can. You don't have to, but it is there in case you want to. But all of the donations and support you guys give will help out tremendously. They help fund the streams. They help keep things running. This stuff's not cheap, so it's very much appreciated when you guys do, in fact, donate, whatever y'all decide to do. So let's kind of watch. We're going to break down here what's going to happen. Let me go through these watches briefly here that we've got on the table here. So this is a severe thunderstorm watch till 11 p.m. Mountain Time, 12 a.m. Central Time. Hold on one second. Yeah, 11 p.m. Mountain Time, 12 p.m. 12 a.m. Central Time here for portions of western Nebraska and northeastern Colorado here. We've got a severe thunderstorm watch out for mostly hazards today are going to be 2-inch plus diameter hail and 75-mile-per-hour winds. So if you're in these areas here, we've got Chatteron, Scotts Bluff, getting in here into portions of northeast Colorado outside of Denver there in that watch till 11 p.m. Mountain Time. We've got another watch, the more bigger watch that we're currently at right now that we know more severe weather, significant severe weather is expected, is going to be in this watch box up here till 11 p.m. Mountain Time as well here, 12 a.m. Central Time. We've got severe weather expected here in eastern Montana. This will transition into the Dakotas overnight tonight, weekend as it approaches into Minnesota, and this will actually set up tomorrow's severe weather threat in Minnesota where we could see an outflow boundary tornado day. Tornado or two is possible in this risk. 80-plus mile-an-hour winds are likely and 3-inch diameter hail. So we're just now starting to get the Montana risk zone going here. Things are going to start to kind of increase over the next couple of hours here as we kind of watch things transition. We also did get a rare not a rare, but I would say an interesting severe thunderstorm watch down here in our marginal risk zone. It seems to be these marginal risk zones back into eastern New Mexico and West Texas have kind of been overperforming the last couple days. I'm honestly shocked they didn't go slight risk with it down here, but regardless of that, like I said, continuing to watch severe weather till 11 p.m. Mountain Time down here as well. Going to be for eastern New Mexico, West Texas, all modes of severe weather possible. Very low wind tornado threat, but wind and hail seem to be the primary threats with that risk zone there. Here is our risk zone for tonight. Like I said here earlier, we've got a marginal risk along the East Coast. We've had some wind warnings down there into North Carolina earlier this afternoon and through this evening here. About 60 to 70 mile per hour winds expected down there. There is a low tornado risk. I don't expect that tornado risk to really unfold much. Most of these storms are actually weakening as they progress eastward. So that is one good thing. Little Arkansas risk zone here down here into Texas as well for some wind and some hail. Most of Oklahoma, most of Kansas, and northern Texas is done for today. Let me look. There we go. Okay. The other risk zone that we're watching is going to be our main risk up here, where we do have a level 3 enhanced risk, level 2 slight risk, and a level 1 marginal risk. You've got that severe thunderstorm watch down here in the marginal, another severe thunderstorm watch up here, and then another severe thunderstorm watch in here. The northern mode up here into Montana is where we're going to see the higher threat for significant damaging winds over 80 miles per hour today. And then getting into South Dakota and southern North Dakota and northwestern South Dakota later on tonight. Tornado risk is very isolated today. 2% on the East Coast this afternoon. 2% chance of seeing a tornado within this green shaded area here. You can see tornadoes outside of the anticipated 2% risk zones, more likely in the 0 to 2% range. Especially down here, we could see a brace spin up, but I don't see that happening. The wind shear is just not supportive enough for a tornadic environment down there. Wind threat is going to be 15 and 30% here. We are going to start to see, as these storms move into a linear fashion, we'll start to see kind of a cluster of storms producing 80 plus mile an hour winds later on this evening here to the overnight hours, and then this will transition into Arkansas. Not Arkansas. We ain't going to Arkansas today. Going into North Dakota and South Dakota later on this evening into the overnight hours between about 11 p.m. Mountain Time and about 5 to 6 a.m. This should be out of here and be moving into Minnesota through the morning hours. So that'll be for today's wind threat. Hail threat also hatched. We've been seeing some tennis ball size hail out there. We've actually got some tennis ball size hail out there. I'll get to that here in just a minute. I want to talk briefly, guys, just briefly about the next couple of days. We'll talk more in depth on these days later on at the end of the stream or towards the middle of the stream. I like to kind of get some coverage in first, and then we'll kind of work through the other days afterwards. Tomorrow is very dependent on what happens overnight tonight. So we're going to have a line of storms overnight tonight that's going to be moving through the Dakotas, moving through Minnesota, and what these storms are going to do. You guys will hear me talk about this a lot during the summertime. It did say shut down, Ashley, 100%. What this line of storms is going to do is it's going to be weakening as it approaches central and eastern Minnesota tomorrow morning about 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. What that's going to do is it's going to lay down an outflow boundary. An outflow boundary is basically a higher access of moisture and just really a vulnerable environment for severe weather, a good classic setup. It helps kind of amp up the atmosphere a little bit. It's going to lay down an outflow boundary in and around the Minneapolis area tomorrow morning. And what that outflow boundary is going to do is when storms try to fire off on that outflow boundary in and around Minneapolis tomorrow in that level 3 enhanced risk, we could actually see a couple tornadoes in Minneapolis tomorrow. I'm not saying specifically that's what's going to happen, but the threat is concentrated over you guys. We are going to have a corridor of higher tornado parameters. And personally, some of our ensembles, or not ensembles, but some of our other model guidance is showing that we could even see a strong tornado somewhere in Minnesota or western Wisconsin tomorrow. So I'm very interested to see how this risk zone plays out tomorrow. We'll have to see what that outflow boundary does and kind of where it interacts with our storms at tomorrow. But I'm definitely very, very interested to see what happens in this region tomorrow. We're going to have instability over 5,000 joules per kilogram, so very volatile atmospheric setup. We're actually going to have a pretty decent amount of wind shear later tomorrow afternoon that's going to come in and help kind of rotate some of these storms. And we're also going to have a large hail threat. Hail in and around that enhanced risk could be anywhere from 2 inches to 3 inches in diameter. And then we're going to have a wind threat as well. The other enhanced risk that got added this afternoon is going to be for a wind threat down here in Nebraska. We could see winds about 60 to 70 miles per hour. Could see some 80 mile an hour winds out there as well tomorrow. But outside of that, we'll have a level 2 slight risk and a level 1 marginal risk here in the green. So we'll be shocked to see SPC go with a little bit broader of a 5% tornado risk tomorrow, a little bit broader of a 2% maybe, and then we might add a 10% tornado risk or a hatched risk somewhere in this area here. We'll see what they do overnight tonight. That's just kind of my thoughts on kind of what we're seeing. We'll kind of get a guidance run tonight on what these models are going to show for tomorrow later on here. 2% tornado risk for tomorrow. This will start around 1 to 2 o'clock-ish in the afternoon, maybe go a little bit later than that. We'll have storms definitely ongoing in Minnesota by 2 or 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. It's what the guidance is showing, at least 2% in the green, 5% in the maroon. Now, these odds seem low, guys. I want y'all to understand. These are within a 25-mile radius, so the bigger these risk zones are, the better chance we actually have of a couple tornadoes actually verifying in those risk zones. So when you see a 2 or a 5%, you're like, it's nothing. It's not going to do anything. Don't say that, because more times than not, we actually get tornadoes in these risk zones than people think. So they do verify pretty much almost every time that they do get initiated, especially these elevated risk zones where the 5% are or higher. I wouldn't be shocked to see a couple tornadoes in there tomorrow. Wind threat tomorrow, 30, 15, and 5%. I wouldn't be shocked to see a hatched risk zone kind of somewhere in this area here, maybe even down here into a 15% hatched in southern Minnesota. Some of the models are showing kind of different linear clusters of storms, so we'll kind of go into that as the guidance comes in later on tonight. And then we do have a hatched hail threat here, which is what's leading that enhanced risk zone for Minnesota tomorrow, and a 15% hatched as well here. This hail could exceed 2+ inches in diameter. That's a horrible quotation there, but anyways, 2+ inches in diameter for tomorrow. Outside of that, 1 to 2 inches for everybody else. So that'll be on your Monday forecast. Then if you think we're done, we're not. We're going to shift this risk zone just a little bit further to the south, and we do have, once again, a day 3 enhanced risk. They did add that in earlier on this afternoon for a hatched risk zone. I believe for hail is what this is going to be. We are going to have to watch out for sweet old Wichita, Kansas, getting into the Kansas City area here, getting into Garden City. Pretty much all of Kansas is going to have a pretty ample threat for severe weather, and then we transition this into the evening hours into Kansas City, getting into St. Louis, getting into Des Moines, Iowa. So day 3 risk zone for Tuesday here also looks pretty significant as well. And I'm going to be honest with you guys on this. We could actually have a pretty big time tornado threat on Tuesday. The model guidance is showing some pretty high tornado parameters with our low-level jet coming in late on Tuesday afternoon. So I wouldn't be shocked to see a strong tornado risk somewhere in this corridor here at play going into Tuesday. We'll have to, like I said, watch models over the next 48 hours to kind of see what this does getting into Tuesday, but I wouldn't be shocked to see a pretty decent tornado risk setup here, at least a 5%, if not a 10% here on your Tuesday forecast. So a very small area, and then a marginal risk over here in the green, and then a marginal risk outside of this, kind of shaped like a heart, except the weather's basically saying, I love producing severe weather. So that's kind of funny. Love that. Probabilities are 15 and 30 hatched. We'll kind of see what happens here. I will mention both the, this is what's really interesting here. This is for the Central Plains. This is what the Storm Prediction Center said in the day 3 forecast. It says indications are that an MCS or remnants will affect northeast and northern or eastern Kansas early on Tuesday. Given strong destabilization east of this potential activity, a damaging wind risk could persist in parts of Iowa and Missouri. Later in the day, the air mass south and west of any such convective system or residual outflow will become very unstable, while capping will limit southward development over Oklahoma and the Panhandles. Hot temperatures and southwest flow across the regions will combine with mid-70-degree dew points over Kansas, yielding late afternoon and evening storms. Slow-moving supercells. So that is a very interesting word right there. So slow-moving supercells are also going to allow for a flooding threat. So this is for Tuesday, guys, that I'm kind of reading this for. It says slow-moving supercells will be possible initially, especially near any old outflow boundaries where SRH will be maximized. So that is a very important word right there. So SRH, guys, that is what helps our storms spin. That's what's called storm relative helicity. When we have maxed out SRH values, that is never a good thing. That's the no. We don't want that, because any discrete supercells, which clearly SPC is stating here, in and around southern Kansas, for especially the Wichita area here, these could be producing potentially some strong tornadoes. That's something we've really got to watch for, and I do think that there is a 10% hatch tornado risk at play here for southern Kansas. When we have those numbers and those values that are maxed out, you're going to get some pretty significant tornado parameter values, and that's going to also lead to, like I said, that strong tornado risk that'll be at play. So we're going to have to watch Tuesday very, very closely there for my people in southern Kansas. It's not a fun day that you want to be in for that. We'll have to watch this here. It says both tornadoes and very large hail will be possible. Otherwise, an increasing southwest low-level jet to 50 knots will support a severe MCS across Kansas and perhaps into western Missouri late. Damaging and potentially destructive wind gust may occur with that. So we could be looking at 80 plus, maybe even to 100-mile-per-hour winds after that MCS moves through Kansas and into western Missouri through the overnight hours there. So not only are we dealing with supercells, kind of our first round of storms in southern Kansas, kind of through the mid to evening hours, we're going to have the chance for strong tornadoes, significant damaging winds over 80 miles per hour, possibly producing up to 100, and then we're also going to have the threat for extremely large hail. So if you guys are in southern Kansas on Tuesday, you need to be very, very, very weather aware here, and even going into northeast Kansas and western Missouri. So here's the risk zone again for Tuesday. I I expect that enhanced risk to probably get a little bit bigger. Like I said, the marginal risk down here in Oklahoma, not super concerned about it because we are going to have some camping out there that'll help things set up, but we are going to have a residential outflow boundary that'll be in place here, and anything that gets going in this environment here can be a very sneaky but interesting day on Tuesday as well. So we're really going to have to watch this little shortwave trough. Tuesday is also going to help. Wednesday is the biggest day that I am mostly concerned about. And the reason why I say that is, one, we have a lot of populations in risk zones for Wednesday here. Once again, for my people in St. Louis, I'm sorry. It just sucks. You're going to have to do this all over again. A huge level 2 slight risk here that extends from basically Springfield, Missouri, all the way up into St. Louis, getting into Jefferson, getting into Hannibal, getting into Peoria, Illinois, Springfield, Illinois, Chicago, Detroit, Michigan. We've got Indianapolis, Indiana in here, Fort Wayne, Indiana. We've got Western Ohio in this as well. So a very, very big day on Wednesday for significant severe weather. And I'm already going to call it significant severe weather because here's what our lovely day 4 CSU is showing us for Wednesday. They have a huge, so here's SPC on the left side of the screen, the right side of the screen. So they got a level 2 slight risk. We've got a huge level 2 slight risk from CSU and a huge enhanced risk here at play in the red. So I do think an upgrade is coming with our risk zone on Wednesday. That's why I said expect 4 days, if not 5 days in a row of enhanced risk zones. I'm going to be honest with you guys too. Once mesoscale details come into play, if SPC does in fact go ahead and upgrade tonight to a day 3 enhanced risk for this area, I think Wednesday, this is not, 100% set on the table. I do think Wednesday could produce a level 4 moderate risk for wind or for hail if it does increase in terms of our mesoscale. We're going to, like I said, have to wait for those mesoscale data to come in as we get closer to Wednesday. Probably we'll start to see that come in range tomorrow night and going into Tuesday. But I think Wednesday will be our biggest day. I think, every day this week is going to be our biggest day, but Wednesday is going to be our biggest day population-wise because we've got a lot of cities that are going to be impacted from these storms. So you guys need to be watching very, very closely. We'll be live covering every single day. What is up, Rush? Good to see you in here, bud. Hope you are doing well. And then, guys, I don't want to sleep on this either because this is another really interesting day here that we have to watch. Not only do we have to watch Wednesday, we got to watch the Northeast on Thursday here. I've seen a lot of the ensembles as well presenting a huge damaging wind event on Thursday here for the East Coast. So this would be for West Virginia, Virginia. I've got people in here that have been asking in Virginia, where's my severe weather at? Well, welcome to the shit show. You're going to get severe weather on Thursday here. We're going to have to watch for all modes of severe weather from, I will be honest with you too, I wouldn't be shocked to see Pittsburgh get put into this. I think this risk zone will kind of nudge a little bit further to the west as well here. We'll probably see an expansion of this risk zone. And this will probably honestly extend up to the northeast and probably expand down a little bit as well. That's just kind of my thoughts here. So do need to watch for a pretty significant damaging wind event on Thursday as well. We'll get more details on that once things get closer. And then the Storm Prediction Center says we're not done after that. We don't have any highlighted risk zones right now, and that's because of confidence. But Friday through Sunday, once again, we are talking about another unstable air mass moving through the high plains in the Midwest. Could be another big severe weather day going into Friday, going into Saturday, and going into next Sunday, guys. So we are more than likely going to have live severe weather coverage every flipping day, at least and through next Sunday, at least. So buckle up. It's going to be a long week. We're going to have a lot of stuff going on. It's just going to be crazy. So today's one of those days where we get storms in the plains, the high plains like Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, where there's not a lot of big cities or a lot of populations. We still take it seriously because people live there, but it's not like a big deal because most of these storms are going to be a lot of these areas are going to be kind of in the middle of nowhere. So that'll be one good thing. But we're going to keep you guys updated on everything. We'll keep you guys just, in the known. I do need to read. Interesting. Okay. So this is our new watch. It's going to be coming out here in just a minute for South Dakota and Wyoming. So severe thunderstorm watch likely. Thunderstorm should increase in coverage this evening. Large hail and damaging winds possible. This is interesting. So it looks like we're going to get some destructive winds across this area tonight. We have a 75 to 90 mile an hour wind intensity track. Hail up to 1.5 to 2 inches in diameter, and a couple low-end weak tornadoes could be possible. The big threat for tonight is going to be damaging winds. 90 mile an hour winds tonight across potentially South Dakota does not sound fun. I'm not a thrill of that. That is quite interesting, actually. I did not expect a 15% to produce 90 mile an hour winds today, but we'll see. All right. Let me look at, is our OOZ coming in yet? No, it's not. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get to radar here. We'll do some weather coverage for just a little bit. kind of wait for some updated data come in for tomorrow. I'm quite curious to see how tomorrow is going to play out. I'm very interested in Minnesota tomorrow. We'll start over here in the marginal risk along North Carolina, here in Virginia, where this little messed up cluster of storm/squall line is moving through here. That is not what I wanted to do. I want to go here. There we go. Let's go use, I wanted to use WSV3, not Radar Mega today. There we go. As I was saying, cluster of storms moving through here. Where did it go? There we go. Hold on, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. There we go. Maybe. Maybe it's going to load. All right, I guess we are not using W. Oh, there it is. I was like to say, where did it go? All right, here we go. Severe thunderstorm warning here for Williamston, North Carolina. This is going to be for 60-mile-per-hour winds. We're also going to have about one inch hail in diameter here. Not anything too significant, but the winds are definitely cranking here in North Carolina. We'll keep you guys updated on that. Kind of switch over here. Not too much ongoing. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning. Go figure. In Missouri, outside of the warning or outside of the risk zone. That's typical that this happens in this area more times than not. We've been seeing this happen a lot lately, too, here. We've got a warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds here just south of Van Buren and a flash flood warning as well. We definitely have, guys, we've had some significant flash flooding today across Virginia and West Virginia. Lots of storms firing off in Arkansas. This is going to lead to a pretty interesting little pattern setup through this area later on this evening here. I need to watch Western Kentucky, Southern Illinois as these storms do move into this area here. I don't think our... let me look at our instability at surface and see what it's doing. That is not what I wanted to do. Turn that off. There we go. Surface-based Cape values are not that high. Down in Missouri, they are. Not super, super crazy. All right, we just got that new severe thunderstorm watch, too. Yeah, West Virginia did have major flooding today, and you guys are going to get severe weather at the end of the week, which is not fun.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
All right. Mods, make sure too, guys, we have people on YouTube as well, just a heads up. That way we can get some questions answered there too if there are any. Just kind of bounce back and forth there on that for me if you guys can. All right, let me get this pulled off here. All right, so we're going to watch for the flash flooding here as well, going in Arkansas and going into Missouri tonight. Kind of see what happens with that as well. We'll go shift. We got a severe thunderstorm warning in southern Iowa here. 1 inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds on that one. The rate... You got to be kidding me.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been...
Clovis is down again. It just... No. Why? Steph, I told you this was going to happen.
Flood warning has been updated.
They got a 60-mile-an-hour severe thunderstorm warning and the radar goes down again. This is 3 times I've seen this radar go down within a matter of 5 days. Like, this radar sucks.
Severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
It can't use it. Flippin' Clovis. Always Clovis. I'm not surprised. That's just annoying. Well, never mind. We're not covering weather in Texas down there today. Screw that.
Warning. A new special marine warning has been issued.
All right. God, we need that radar to get fixed. All right, we do got a severe thunderstorm warning here in Colorado Springs. This is going to be for 1.5 inch hail. Sorry, no golf ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is tracking across 94 and north of Interstate 25. Let me switch over here and look at velocity on this. Yeah, definitely damaging winds with this storm. Not looking at anything too significant.
This considerable severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Yeah, pretty decent little line of storms here. Not producing anything too significant right now other than the hail being impacted with this. Yeah, definitely some hail inside that storm. I'm gonna move up here to where that watch just got issued at. So this watch is out until midnight Central Time tonight, which is interesting. Oh, that's the one that was already out. The other one that just got issued was for till 2 a.m. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm talking to myself for a moment. All right, there we go. So Sydney, Nebraska. You guys are under a severe thunderstorm warning here for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1.5-inch hail. Once again, the radar side is just like split here. So we definitely do have some brighter colors in here for some wind. Definitely producing some significant wind here. Not seeing any rotation with this storm, which is good. Yeah, 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch hail from Allison, Nebraska down to Sydney along Interstate 80. So be mindful if you're driving out with those areas. Manders, I think you're going to go 10 hatch tomorrow in Minneapolis off of what I've been seeing today. Whether it be tonight or by tomorrow when the event happens. Your residue outflow boundary tomorrow looks very intense. So you're going to have a line of storms that's going to come through tomorrow morning at sunrise, and it's going to drop an outflow boundary down. And you've got your tornado parameters are almost maxed out tomorrow. You've been asking for it, Manders. You're going to get it. Whether you actually see storms or not, we'll see. But your threat will be there.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Tomorrow would be a day to call out of work. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. You could if you wanted to. You can be my storm chaser tomorrow. All right. What in the world is going on in my YouTube chat? Can Rower, somebody go in there and figure out what CH is talking about? CH, what are you talking about? I'm confused. Petition for Manders to get some nice pretty clouds and thunderstorms. Genuinely, that'd be nice. Honestly. Honestly, it would be. Yeah, Ro, let me know when you figure out what's going on YouTube. I don't know.
A new flash flood warning has been issued.
A new flash flood warning has been issued.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. New information.
There's so many times where this overlay just gets so annoying sometimes. Ray, were you still in here? Also, Southern... Hold on a minute. Southern, thank you for the gifts. Mateo, thank you for the gifts. Manders, ICOG, Alexa, I appreciate you guys for the gifts. Mads, thank you for the gifts. Gunner, Blaine, thank you guys for all the gifts. I really appreciate it. You guys are freaking awesome. Danny as well. Thank you guys for the gifts. Y'all are awesome. Danny, are you still in chat, by the way? I was talking to you this morning. Are you still in here? Because I got an update for you on Kansas. I don't know if you're still in here or not. If you are, let me know. Yeah, Ashley, that'd be fine. That would be awesome. I don't know what's going on. Apparently, we're talking about aliens in my chat on YouTube. I don't know what is going on with that. I don't know if somebody was trying to be mean or if it was a joke. I have no idea. Ro, are you here? Did Ro fall asleep on me? Hold on a second, guys. I'm going to take a field trip.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry. All right. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, guys, I will run through I'll run through the rest couple of days here again in just a little bit. We do got an observed golf ball size hail severe thunderstorm warning here just east of Winnett, Montana. 60-mile-per-hour winds with this one as well. Let's take a look at the velocity. Not looking at anything too crazy. A little bit of rotation with this. Not anything that's gonna get warned. Yeah, I'll talk about Minnesota here in just a little bit. We are starting to see some significant damaging winds develop. I'm shocked that this isn't actually warned right now.
A new flash flood warning has been
Definitely got some damaging winds here.
A new severe
Mama 2 Girl 17, you could see some severe weather, some wind later on this afternoon, or here in a little bit here. The storms are moving through closer to your area. Ow. All right. So we're going to watch the damaging wind threat get going here. We should start to see a line of storms develop here. Still got some supercells southwest of Billings here. 1.25 inch hail on the one in Columbus. 1 inch hail down at north of the one of Red Lodge. The day one just updated. Oh.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
They just expanded the enhanced risk. Interesting.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
They added a hatched wind threat to cover up for the slight risk.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, the winds are going to kick up. We're going to have to watch the winds. Actually, Winston-Salem, you guys should be okay tonight. I thought you guys were further to the east. I don't know why. You got some storms off to the north of you here, but shouldn't be anything too crazy. Yeah, Sierra, I was going to ask you if you ended up seeing anything crazy at all.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
All right, let's go up here to the plains. Take a watch these storms. I got to take a look at a couple things real quick. You got it, Anna. Yay! I love that. I love that.
New information. This severe
I'm so excited. I love it when I hear people get merch. Guys, make sure y'all go check out the merch if you have not checked out merch yet. We've been running merch for a good 2 months now. There's a lot of new stuff on there if you haven't checked it out yet. Sticker on your car too. Yay! I love that. That makes me happy. I love to see that you guys love it. I'm sure it makes Rochelle happy too because she's the one that makes it all. What in the world, Dylan? Dude, what was that? I don't even know what to say. Dude, you did not have to do that. Thank you. Oh my, massive W's, guys. Can we get him pinned, please? Holy crap. Dude, I appreciate you. You did not have to do that. Thank you, thank you, thank you a million times. Like, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate that. You did not have to do that. That was awesome. I think that's one of the biggest gifts I've had on TikTok in a good year and a half, dude. I appreciate the support. That means seriously a lot. Beyond words. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, on that note, guys, if you guys do not know, I have to be very quiet about it because TikTok doesn't like this, but we are monetized on YouTube. So you guys, we do have access to memberships. I have a 3-tier membership thing over on YouTube. If you guys go to my channel, and we're also live on there now, if you go there as well, you guys can become a member. You get access to member-only videos that I'm going to start rolling out once we start getting people over there. You also get access to, like, you get to game with me when we do game streams. You get free access to do that first come, first serve on that. And then you also get access to 20% off discount on merch if you sub to that 3rd tier. So really cool stuff there, and we have super chats on YouTube as well. So if you ever want to get, like, donate that way as well and know where all of your money goes to, that's also a good place to do it as well in the future. But I do, Dylan, dude, I appreciate you beyond words, dude. You did not have to do that. Much love for you. Much respect. Appreciate it very, very much. He sent the unicorn fantasy. That was awesome. I think that is one of the biggest gifts I've had on this app in a good year and a half. So I really appreciate it. I don't ever like to ask for stuff at all because I'm not like that. And when I just let you guys do your thing, and when y'all do your thing, it's much appreciated. I hope you guys know, whenever y'all do, support, all of that money goes right back into the streams. It pays for the stuff. It gives us upgrades. We've got a 75-inch TV up here that I use for big stream days. We've got a monitor over here, a 40-inch monitor, a 40-inch monitor, and a 28-inch monitor. I've got basically a big old nice setup here, and I want to continue adding stuff to it. So whenever you guys do pitch in, that's what it goes towards. So it's, like I said, it's very, very much appreciated, and it just makes the stream look a lot better. So eventually, at some point, once we start getting, a lot bigger on YouTube, I want to start hiring, actually hiring storm chasers. I've got a couple that we have already that I want to eventually start, having full time, and that does take effort. So when you guys do that, that's where that goes to, and it's, like I said, it's very, very, very much appreciated. So, I love y'all. Y'all are awesome. Thank you guys for the follows as well. Very, very much appreciated. Gladwater, Texas on Monday. You guys should be okay. I believe general thunderstorms. I can just take a look at it from SPC and see. Yep, Texas general thunderstorms. Shouldn't see much of anything other than just some general pop-up thunderstorms to the day. Yeah, that was a $100 gift. It was. Yep. The thing about it is, though, is I'll only get, I think it's like 45 or 60% of it because TikTok takes the rest of it. But regardless of that doesn't matter. I appreciate the love and the support. Very much appreciated. Dylan, do you have a question with weather, or is anything you want to ask? Do you have, like, is your area? Can I do something to give back? Yeah, Sierra, if you guys have not checked it out, I'll show this briefly here. If you guys have not checked out the merch, it is so worth checking out. This is my official website. Let me switch over to it. I'll get to Florida here in just a second. Here's my official website, mesomatwx.com. Ew, gross. I'm all hot and sweaty in that picture. I want to update that picture, babe, at some point. This is all of our lovely stuff on here. If you want to apply to join our team, you can hit the team application as well. We're still taking in applications for anybody over the age of 18 that is wanting to join. We'll go through that process with you guys. Here's the Mesomat merch link website. We've got hurricane season stuff on here as well. Babe, did we update the birthday stuff, or is it still on here? Okay, we'll have to update the birthday stuff, but if you still want a birthday shirt and a sticker, I guess you can still get it while it's in here. There's just a lot of good stuff. There's tumblers, there's hats, there's hoodies, there's phone cases. It is endless, guys. It is just, Rochelle works her butt off on these shirts. It's amazing. There's so much good stuff on here. There's stickers, there's t-shirts, there's cups, there's phone cases. Just go check it out. Go check it out. It's freaking awesome stuff on there. So I really appreciate y'all very, very much. All right, let me get back here to our coverage. Oh, I guess Dylan left. I was trying to get Dylan to get a question answered for him. I guess he left. I appreciate that. That was awesome. Greensburg, Kansas. You guys will have severe weather day 3. You'll have a chance tonight and a chance tomorrow, but day 3 will be your biggest risk. It is soft as butter. I love it. We don't have the Jenny Purse stuff anymore. We're going to have it. It's going to be kind of limited edition stuff, so it'll probably come back again at some point. I think it's still, I don't think it's on here anymore.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
If there's enough people that want it, I might try to convince Rochelle. Okay, it'll come back. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what she was saying, is it'll come back again later. So I'll say I might try to convince her to bring it back for a day or two, but she'll probably wait on that. One heck of a lightning show in Central Florida. Let me go take a look. Let's go take a look at Florida.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
You guys got some strong storms here. Nothing severe expected down here in Florida today, but your general typical afternoon, evening thunderstorms moving across Orlando, so it doesn't shock me. 605 Chaser, thank you for the heart. Thank you for the rose. Good to see you in here. Appreciate you as well. Appreciate what you do in the weather world.
A new severe thunderstorm.
Jesus Louise. It would be nice if I could use the Clovis radar, but that's not going to happen.
New information. This considerable severe
Sometimes this dad gym overlay just gets so old.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Is there any tornado warnings happening in Iowa? No, Iowa's good today. You have a marginal risk in western Iowa, but nothing right now. You'll have a bigger day on tomorrow going into Wednesday. Sorry, tomorrow into Tuesday. So let's get up here and take a look at these storms. Golf ball size hail still up here along Highway 200 in Winnett. Just kind of taking a look at a couple of these other storms. Golf ball size hail up here in Crosby, Minnesota. That's North Dakota. I was like, what in the world? Y'all, guys, we had a tornado outbreak yesterday in Canada. Michaela, am I covering Texas today? Yes. So the problem with Texas is the radar site that is in Clovis here, where the only severe thunderstorm warning is down. So I'm going to have to use Amarillo's. But currently right now we've got 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds south of the Logan area. Outside of that, though, this is a very low-end risk zone today. Definitely still be weather aware for wind and hail, but I don't expect too much in this area today. Gladwater, you guys are good for a couple days. You'll have some general thunderstorms each day, but nothing crazy severe-wise. Yeah, Steph, I just saw what you were saying. Yeah, the Winnett storm looks like it's definitely producing golf ball size hail, if not bigger than that. Has a pretty decent hail core on it as well here. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Probably looking at some tennis balls in there too. Yeah, Canada's warning boxes are really weird. And they go for such long durations of times. Could you imagine being under a tornado warning for like 3 hours? Like, that would be insane. That would be crazy. They said you had straight. Yeah, the straight line winds earlier, like I said, Sierra, definitely did come through your area. I'm telling you guys, I feel like this year, these marginal risk zones that we've had, these lower end risk zones, have just overperformed significantly. Like down here, we've got a little gust of wind. It doesn't look like the storm is beautiful on reflectivity, but hidden in that here with the mountain ranges, we've got some pretty significant winds. About 70-mile-an-hour winds inside this severe thunderstorm warning here. Wouldn't be shocked to see them bump that up.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
That also seems to be a thing as well, Sierra, sadly. Yeah, tornado warning for 6 hours and 45 minutes yesterday. That doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah, I covered that day, the PDS. I do remember that. There was a PDS there, and there was also one in Iowa that same day. Yep. Yeah, it just seems to be with the lack of weather balloon soundings, we either get over risk zone issues, or under risk zone issues, and it happens. But a risk zone, you know, if you're in a general thunderstorm risk, this is always what I tell people: general thunderstorm risk can produce severe weather. That's why I say, hey, come and watch me for updates, because you know, if there's a chance for a spin up tornado and a general thunderstorm risk, and it shows it on the model runs, or we get some type of component and ingredient in the atmosphere that can produce it, and there's not a risk zone from SPC, watch out for it, because sometimes it can happen. Gotta take all weather seriously.
A new considerable severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
A new considerable severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. Yeah, I think it was too. Me and the weather team had a conversation about that. I think tomorrow's risk zone in Minnesota looks pretty decent as well. Let me go over to this for just a second. I think this risk zone looks very, very... I'm very intrigued on how tomorrow is going to play out. I do think, personally, this is just kind of my opinion, given what... I'm going to shut this thing up for 2 seconds. Given, personally, what I've been seeing with some of our model guidance this afternoon here, I'm waiting for the official OOZ herder run here, but I think a 10% hatch tornado risk may be needed in this area right in here tomorrow. I think that enhanced risk will get shunted or expanded to east. I definitely think a strong tornado can't be ruled out in Minneapolis, or at least south of the Minneapolis area here. I don't want to say you're going to get an EF2 tornado in Minneapolis, because that's just insane. But we've seen, I will say this, St. Louis, you guys saw an EF3 tornado this year, and it went right through downtown, so big cities are not bubbled out of storms. Sorry. I'll have to take a look at that, Sierra. Let me look here and see what you sent me. Oh, wow. See, Sierra, on that camera, it looks like a microburst. From that angle, it looks like a microburst. I wonder if they go back and revise that. I'm going to have to look at that storm report, because it doesn't look like it's violently rotating. It really looks like just a downburst of rain and wind. Then again, too, that doesn't make sense either, because, I don't know. I'm going to have to take a look at that. I'm going to save that video you sent me. I'll get Ro I'll have Ro look at it, too, and tell me what she thinks later. Yeah, that looks like a microburst. It doesn't look like it's violently rotating, or doing anything like crazy. Yeah, well, I'll have to look at that. Oh, Sierra Page is here too. No, Sierra Ray. This was who I was talking to. Yeah, I'll send it to Sierra. You don't have Ro on Snap, do you? Let me send it to her. I'm gonna save that to my camera roll and then send it over to her real quick. Ro, tell me what you think about this. Sierra Page, good to see you in here though. But yeah, I do think a 10% hatch tornado risk could be needed tomorrow. We'll talk about this here in just a few minutes when SPC updates. It's not quite fully through yet. This might be a problem now tomorrow. Manders, I hate to crush your boat here, but if you have morning time convection hanging around tomorrow, that might limit everything, actually, now that the OOZ is coming in here. We'll see what happens. We'll see if we get some storms that initiate behind it. Still should be enough air mass recovery for this. So we'll look at this here in just a minute. That's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, we'll look at this here in just a minute. I do think that the parameters tomorrow evening will be interesting to watch. Yeah, Ro agrees with me, Sierra. Microburst, 100% on that. Yeah, there's no violent rotation with the wind. It's just a big downpour of rain and wind. And yeah, and with the houses being in the background too, you would, as Rochelle mentioned as well, you would see shingles and debris flying if it was a tornado. Most of the time with it being houses there. So the people that posted that video are just not smart. But it's okay. It happens a lot. More times than you think. So. It's a fighting. Yeah, that makes sense then. That makes sense, and it's run by people that don't know what they're talking about. Makes a lot of sense. That's crazy. Y'all are wild. Hello, Carissa. When will day 2 update next? It will be at 1 a.m. Central Time. I will probably not be here for that. We'll see. If I'm on here past 1 o'clock in the morning, there's a problem. We must be having some crazy stuff if Mozomat's on here that late. So we're going to see how this, organizes tonight. I'm not seeing a lot of clustering right now. We're just now kind of starting to get this little damaging wind threat going here, so it's going to take some time to see how this organizes here. Confused Blonde, good to see you in here. Thank you for the gifts. No, it's still in here. It's a gnat, and it's been annoying me all day today. It has been annoying. Oh, man. Let's see here. You know what? Why not just start looking at models while we don't have too much going on? Let's take a look at this. So, cluster of storms is going to develop. This is where I think our significant damaging wind is going to happen. Is going to be between midnight and 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. So we'll have a little kind of line and bow lining storms coming through. This is actually going to grow upscale through the overnight hours tonight. And so, depending on... I do need an electric fly swatter. If anybody ever wants to Amazon me one, feel free to do that. Just kidding. You don't have to do that. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to have a bunch of rain move through, clusters of thunderstorms. I want to see if this verifies. If we do wake up and have some morning time convection in the morning, this could either limit or help our severe weather threat in Minnesota tomorrow. This is the first time I've seen this pop up all afternoon for tomorrow's setup. So we'll, like I said, kind of watch this for the trends. Yeah, it looks like it puts a damper on it. I don't see this big, intense MCS tomorrow now on the OZ. Looks like Kansas and Nebraska, or not Kansas, Nebraska might steal the show tomorrow. If that verifies.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I don't know how well the HUR is handling the solution tomorrow. I do want to see... you can kind of see, a little squalling develop. This was the 18Z from earlier this afternoon. This is what I liked, but this is what I saw, was morning time convection cleared out very quickly by 7, 8 o'clock. And then you just get an explosion of supercells, and then, boom, there it went. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Kind of go from there. But there definitely will be a lot damaging wind event with this. What is the day for Wednesday? It is a slight risk that extends from Springfield, Missouri, all the way up to Michigan. Big day on Wednesday. I think Wednesday has got a big issue in front of it. Southern Kansas is going to get strong tornadoes, damaging winds, 80 plus, and extremely large hail on Tuesday.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Yeah, so I'm seeing a big uptrend with, at least on this run here for tomorrow across Nebraska. We still need to watch down here in this area, a little bit of a question mark, and if morning time convection is going to shunt the bigger severe weather threat tomorrow afternoon or not. But I think we're going to have so much instability tomorrow, even with the morning time convection, it should still lead to a pretty potent severe weather threat. Let's look at our 0 to 3 kilometer AGL Cape and see what this is doing. I mean, yeah, we've got some pretty decent LGL Cape here. So the tornado risk tomorrow is going to be pretty decent. Let's look at instability. Yeah, interesting. So instability is not going to recover as quickly on this run because of the morning time convection. The last run was showing about 5,000 Cape. It does try after the morning time, and then afternoon gets here and it gets used. So I don't really like to do my forecasting based off the night before models. I like to wait till the morning gets here because we get fresh soundings. We get, I saw that, Will. I saw that. I did see it for Tuesday, yeah. I'm very concerned about Kansas and western Missouri on Tuesday. I think it's going to be a big day for you guys down there as well. I think strong tornadoes the SRH values are maxed out on Tuesday. So we could honestly see a couple strong, maybe even an intense tornado across southern Kansas if that does shape up. I mean, even tomorrow, look at these instability values down here across Nebraska tomorrow. I mean, we do have a pretty decent corridor here of instability, so it's not, that's not an issue. It's just the morning time convection. And like I said, here's the tornado parameters tomorrow. So, not zero. This is actually pretty significant tornado parameters tomorrow afternoon. This would be around 3 to 4 p.m. So if we do get supercell initiation in Minnesota tomorrow or northern Iowa, this could be a big problem. Like I said, I think personally a couple tornadoes are definitely at play for tomorrow. Definitely the large hail will be here. It just depends on if storms can grab a hold of that shear and actually use it. You got to have storms become surface-based in order to become tornadic. Can't really necessarily just be, have tornado parameters and get guaranteed tornadoes. So Chicago will be on Wednesday. So I do want to watch this. I do want to take a sounding, actually, out of this environment here, if I can get one.
A new flash flood warning has
So
been issued.
the SRH values are maxed out, or not maxed out, are higher because of the residential outflow boundary. So this is all, these tornado parameters are not coming off the trough. They're coming off of the shear from the outflow boundary. You see how your wind barbs are kind of all wonky in this area here? That's due to the outflow boundary that comes through tomorrow morning. So it's going to make things very tricky to forecast tomorrow. It's going to be kind of coming down to the morning of.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been
I'm
issued.
going to wait and see what Tuesday does down here. This will be interesting. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, guys. We appreciate y'all for being here. Interesting as well here tomorrow. Yeah, these mesoscale days can get very tricky and very complex to forecast because you're not just relying on one big cold front or one big trough. You're relying on multiple different factors to help, make a severe weather risk verify.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Very tricky. When will Ohio get hit? On Wednesday and Thursday.
A new flash flood warning has been issued.
Yep, it'll be both days. Yeah, I'm going to wait for this to load. We'll go back. Go back to radar here. Still got some pretty large hail in the storm headed south of Jordan. Tennessee, we're not expecting anything for you guys. Just general thunderstorms. I can briefly talk about the future and what we're going to be seeing. All right, let's look at our 18Z GFS. Kind of see what it's doing here. So we're going to have a high pressure down here in the Four Corners. We're going to have northwesterly flow on top of the ridge. Very potent for severe weather. You can kind of see where today's severe weather threat is at. You can see the divergence split here in your jet stream. This allows for moisture transport, instability, all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. A very, symmetrical pattern here for this time of the year. Very much normal to see this. Things get really interesting going towards next week. So like I said, we're going to have west to east shear. So whenever you get zonal shear like this, where your winds are moving west to east, this is not a big tornado maker. It just depends on outflow boundaries on days prior to help allow for tornado genesis to happen. But these are just straight up days and days and days of damaging winds, large hail, damaging winds, large hail, damaging winds, large hail. So this is going through Tuesday, going through Wednesday. Continuing to see that shear, but I want you guys to see something here. You see this little dip here in our jet stream. This is what we call a shortwave trough. What this does is this is actually going to be an organized low that's going to move through, and it's actually going to give us an organized severe weather threat both on technically Tuesday afternoon and on Wednesday here. And what that's going to do is, like I said, give us a significant severe weather setup. So going into Wednesday, or not to Wednesday, going into Tuesday, that shortwave trough races off here. And what's going to do for Tuesday is it's going to set up a little setup here in Nebraska and Kansas. There's not going to be really any severe weather down here in Oklahoma, and that's going to be because the high pressure system is sitting right here. So there's a little marginal risk here for some chance of some wind and some hail, maybe a brief tornado. But just along the northern Oklahoma and southern Kansas line, we're going to have a pretty significant severe weather threat. And right along that dip in the jet stream where your wind barbs change out of the southwest here, going kind of west to east southwest motion, you're going to have a pretty organized damaging wind threat and a tornado threat that could also promote some pretty intense issues. So we're going to have to watch that little area here. I'm actually going to take a sounding. Let me take a sounding here out of southern Kansas. So that's a nice sounding. I'm not too crazy. Your temperature is 92. Your dew point is 70, so plentiful for damaging wind. These, when you get separation, a big separation in your dew point and your temps, it's typically meaning damaging winds and large hail. But as the low-level jet intensifies to the overnight hours, we're going to have a pretty straight southwest wind. So this is going to promote tornado genesis in Wichita on Tuesday afternoon here, which is where the kind of the main bullseye is. And then that shortwave trough. Here's the interesting thing, guys. If Tuesday performs significantly, which it could, it's going to make Wednesday is going to make Tuesday look like crap on pen and paper, because this shortwave trough is going to intensify significantly overnight on Wednesday, and we're actually going to be able to see the dip in the jet stream here. And what this is going to do is you're going to have a low pressure system sitting right on the northern side of Iowa. You're going to have a beautiful southwesterly wind, and this area right in here is going to have the threat for significant severe weather on Wednesday, whether it be large hail, significant damaging winds, a couple tornadoes, maybe even a couple strong tornadoes. This looks to be the best setup, tornadic wise, I would say, all week that we've got so far. These MCS days can produce big time tornadoes. It just depends on, like I said, the outflow boundaries. But this would be probably our biggest shot of seeing severe weather for a good amount of time in the lower Ohio Valley, in the central Ohio Valley, the Midwest, and the Great Lakes going into Wednesday. So this would be Wednesday afternoon. We don't know the timing yet because it's still a little ways out, but we do need to watch this. We'll just take a sounding. Western Illinois here. Not a lot of wind shear change direction. Most of your wind barbs are facing the same direction here. So, and you've got you got cape, but your mixed layer cape's not that great either. So this is going to be a damaging wind and a hail threat. Like I said, on Wednesday here. At least as of right now, we may see a little bit stronger tornado risk up near the surface low. Nope, that's not what I wanted to see. Let's go a little bit further in the day here. Yeah, this is not, I don't know why the GFS is not doing what it's supposed to do. This is a little weird. Regardless of that, we're going to have a severe weather threat on Wednesday. Just going to be dependent on what the mesoscale details show. And then as we go into Thursday, here's something even more interesting. Going into Thursday here, we're going to have to watch up here along the East Coast here. We'll have another damaging wind and a hail threat that could promote from West Virginia, all the way up through eastern Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania, and into New York here. So we'll have to watch that on Wednesday and going into Thursday. And then what I want you guys to see is going into late end of the week here, so end of next week, we're going to have a pretty big high pressure system that's going to start to develop here. It's going to start to lift up to the north. Our jet stream is going to go way far up, and then it should start to go more zonal. Hold on. Babe, I'll answer you here in just 1 second. Going into Friday, going into Saturday here, we're going to go more to zonal flow, and what's going to happen is if you're in the Ohio Valley, I'm going to say this right now, we are going to have a beautiful weekend next weekend. We're going to have a huge high pressure. This is probably going to be our biggest high pressure of the year here. Beautiful temperatures are going to be in the 90s to 100s. It is going to be a hot summer feel like going into next weekend here. We're going to see big ridging developing here. It's going to be nice. It's going to be comfortable, and then we get a mega trough ejection off on the left side here, and this is going to promote significant severe weather on top of that ridge over here going into the weekend and early into the third week of June. Technically fourth week of June. So we are in the third week of June. So this will be the fourth week of June that we're going to have to watch for. But a big question mark on how this low pressure system develops in this area next week. Got a lot of time to figure it out. We'll keep you guys updated on that with the details on that as we go through this week here. And then that ridge, it sits around. I mean, we are just dominating with high pressure. Dominating. Monday through at least, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week here. And I really think that that's going to stay in place. And we might get a return to severe weather the last couple of days of June here. Just a little bit of a return here with the troughing. This is, far out, so just take this with a grain of salt. And then after that, kind of going into the month of July, maybe a nice 4th of July for a lot of people. This would be something I really want to see going into the month of July. I like to see this. So it gives us some MCS days for severe weather, but it's not going to be by any means ridiculously insane. It will probably keep it up over the plains because we'll have ridging developing. And the good thing is, too, guys, I don't see any type of hurricane or tropical system, at least through the first week. Or through the end of the month here. So we're going to keep the tropics quiet. We should start to ridge things out going into next week. We just got to get through these next 4 to 5 days here. And then we'll start to really get things hot and get things feeling like summer in a lot of places. So that is one good thing that we can kind of take out of this model run here. We'll kind of see what the model runs do overnight. Kind of go from there. Wednesday, the severe weather threats is going to be along the Ohio River Valley and into the Great Lakes here. This is a level 2 slight risk. That is at play here on Wednesday. All modes of severe weather will be possible. Damaging winds and large hail will be the primary threats as of now, but we will have a couple tornadoes that will be isolated with this setup as well going into Wednesday, so we'll have to keep you guys updated on that. But I do think Wednesday has the potent to be a significant day potentially here. That's not something you want to see going through the overnight hours of Tuesday and Wednesday, is a long track supercell ripping through the state of Kansas. That's not something that you want to see happen. Sorry, this will be tomorrow night going into Tuesday.
Thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Summertime, baby. I know, right, babe? Babe, to answer your question on what you messaged me, it could be. I'm not too sure on that, honestly. Not too 100% certain on it. So we'll go back to Radar Omega while late for the 18 or for the OOZ to run its course. Start checking on some of these storms here. Glasgow, you're getting some wind. You're getting some hail. You're getting some ridiculous winds. I hope that that's not the case. I hope we are not getting 80-mile-an-hour winds in Glasgow. Yeah, Houston, you're going to be fine. General thunderstorms. Not too worried about you guys. Y'all should be mostly okay. Do you think Tennessee will be affected Wednesday or Thursday? Probably not. No. You'll see general thunderstorms every day across the Tennessee area, but nothing too significant. A lot of these storms right now are underperforming, so that is a good. That's a good thing. I believe what's the model timing on this? God, this is at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Jeez Louise.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning.
I really don't want to stay on here until 2 o'clock in the morning tonight, but this looks really intriguing, honestly. Jeez. North Dakota is going to get blasted tonight. I wouldn't say quiet in the coming weeks. I only like to forecast really week and a half to 2 weeks out, just because models change drastically after that 14-day period. I really don't even feel comfortable with talking globally about 10 days out. But I would say Michigan, besides this week and next week, depending on where the ridge sets up, will depend on if you stay active wise, severe weather wise. We'll just have to see what happens. Babe, I think Hazel's having a party in her room is what she's doing. I didn't even know you put her to bed already. Oh shit, it's already 9 o'clock almost. I lost track of time.
Severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
I lost track of time. I didn't know it was 9 o'clock almost already. Sheesh. Lower Michigan, the 21st to the 27th. Do you know? No, that's a little bit of the ways. Okay, actually, you know what? Actually, hold on, Abby. Hold on. That I was thinking for whatever reason that today was like the 8th or the 9th of June. No. Just looking at the pattern, like I said, GFS and Euro are going to kind of be a little bit different here.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
As of right now in Michigan, the 21st, the 22nd, the 23rd look good. High pressure system is going to be dominating here. I don't see too much of an issue. Maybe a general thunderstorm risk, but you should be ridged out mostly. It's as we transition into the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th and the 27th that things get interesting. We're going to have a little shortwave trough maybe moving through here. Like I said, a little ways out, but we'll have to see how that works. But definitely the 21st to 22nd look pretty good for quiet weather. But after that, I can't be uncertain on that. Yeah, if you're biking, just be mindful. Just don't get struck by lightning. I would bike in the rain, though. I can't say don't get struck by lightning, because then when I'm outside watching storms, I stand underneath a big oak tree or a big old tree, so. Yeah, I really don't have room to talk, honestly. Do we have storms in Louisiana still? We do, I guess. See, we have severe thunderstorm warnings down here in Texas with no risk zone, so that makes sense as well. Yeah, Louisiana, general thunderstorms. There's an upper level low down here just spinning, so you're gonna get rain, you're gonna get storms down here. Nothing severe though. Not expecting anything too crazy. Oh. Do get a severe thunderstorm warning in North Carolina, Washington, and Greenville. If it would load. Hartford, Texas. Marginal risk for you guys, I believe, is what you're in over there. Marginal / general thunderstorms. So. Ew, this one looks wonky. I was like, why did that look like that? Yeah, general wind and hail with that storm. Looks like it's going to take some time for these storms to get going. The one thing I don't like about summertime storms is these don't initiate until after hours. It gets so long for these storms. It takes forever for these storms to initiate. Looks like we're going to have an outflow boundary again on Tuesday. Interesting. So once again, guys, thank you for all the gifts. I really appreciate it. Y'all are awesome. Don't forget, guys, we do have memberships, and you guys can join a membership over on YouTube as well as we do have access to Super Chats. If you guys ever do want to donate or support me, that's going to be the best way to do it because I actually get all of what you pretty much send, unlike here on TikTok where it takes some of it. So definitely consider doing it if you guys ever want to support me. That's the best way to do it is going over to YouTube. Either you send a super chat, you get your highlighted message, you can send a sticker. It does donations all the way from like 0 to 500, I think. And then you also can join and become a member. I've really worked on getting that set up. It takes a lot of effort to get that stuff set up. So we've got one person as a member now. If I've got anybody that's subscribed to me here, there's 111 of you guys on TikTok and you want to either cancel and move over there or do both, whichever one you want to do, you can do that as well. So we're really just kind of waiting for these storms to get going. Not too much craziness going on right now. General wind and hail warnings.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
I'm shocked this isn't producing tennis ball size hail. Yeah, also guys with YouTube as well, you can put me on your TV. That is very true. What was it, lime-sized hail with this storm?
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated. A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. Oh, doop-a-doop-a-doo. Yeah, we're just gonna watch this storm. If anybody ever does have like general weather questions, you guys can ask those as well. I don't care to teach things.
Thunderstorm warning has been issued. Warning, a new special marine warning has been issued.
Warning, a new general special marine warning has been issued. Wonder if this storm is trying to get cranking. Getting there, slowly. Rapid City, South Dakota. You guys are in a 60-mile-an-hour severe thunderstorm warning.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Interesting. On Tuesday. Oh, I appreciate the waterfall chaser. That means a lot. I appreciate all the support you guys do. When you guys just hop in and say hey or just are here, I appreciate it. You don't have to gift. You don't have to do anything. Y'all just coming in and saying hey means a lot. It means y'all care, and that's what matters. Connor's on vacation right now. He hasn't posted in about 5 days. I think he comes back from vacation here pretty soon because I haven't talked to him much either. So, but yeah, Connor's freaking awesome. We love Connor. Oh man. Mankato, Minnesota tomorrow. Yeah, you guys will have. Let me double check and see where you guys are at. You guys are actually in the enhanced risk tomorrow. Yeah, you guys are in the enhanced risk tomorrow. So you have a 5% tornado risk. Wind threat is also going to be at 15, and the hail threat is 30 hatched. Yeah, Mankato. I know I do that every time. I was waiting for you to say something, Manders. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a big day. I don't like the way tomorrow works. We're gonna have to be on stream probably pretty early tomorrow, just given what the environment's given us tonight. It'll really depend on as well what happens tonight.
A new considerable severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
But yeah, that'll be tomorrow. Will be timing could be you get around to storms tomorrow morning from leftover from what comes through tonight from Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota. Because we're going to have a Boeing line of storms that's going to develop here at some point in the future weekend as it gets closer to Minnesota, and then kind of a lot of different scenarios for tomorrow. We can look. We did just get a brand new severe thunderstorm warning here in Montana for 70-mile-per-hour winds. This is our most extreme warning so far right now. Wolf Point, Circle, just be mindful here. 70-mile-per-hour winds. Don't take your guards off this. We might actually get some destructive winds out of this here pretty soon once this crosses out of the radar site. I'm curious to see what this is going to do. Oh, absolutely, Manders. Whenever I get to talk about Minnesota, I know you're in here. And it's Monday, too, so you're off work tomorrow, I'm assuming.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Yeah, dude, these dew points on Tuesday are just ridiculous. We've got dew points at 78 degrees. The STP is maxed out. We have maxed out STP levels in Wichita, Kansas at 6 p.m. with no storms in the area yet on Tuesday. That is not good. I don't like to see that. That's not a good thing. Wait, did I say something, babe? I'm confused. Did I say something?
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been upgraded.
New information.
Oh.
This
Shoot, I wish it was Monday. I think I'm just ready to go on vacation. For anybody that does not know, we will be going to the lovely state of Ohio for our vacation for 4th of July. We'll be getting to meet a bunch of our weather team people that are on our team, which we're super excited for. We'll have a live stream too, guys. I'm going to be dropping a bunch of money on fireworks on Wednesday. So if y'all were in the live stream last night, we were watching a fireworks show with a cool group of people last night. I will be doing my own on the 4th of July, and it's going to be wild, and y'all will get to meet some of the people that are mods and a part of this lovely weather team in person on stream in like 2 weeks, which is super exciting. So, whoop whoop. I will be going to the state of Ohio for the first time ever in my life in 2 weeks. I can officially say I've been to Ohio. I don't know how exciting it is to be in Ohio. I've heard people say it sucks. People say it's great. They say it sucks, and then it really sucks, and then it really, really, really sucks. So we'll see. We'll be in Western Ohio, so it'll be fun.
Storm warning has been updated.
Yeah, we'll be hanging out with some friends. It'll be fun.
New information. This severe
I want to see Ohio to confirm it's not AI. LOL. I love that, babe. That's awesome. So, guys, look at this for just a second. These are our dew points for Tuesday. You can see the surface low right here. You can see just the dew points being dragged up around the low. So we're going to have this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful open warm sector right along the dry line. And if any supercells can fire off in this region here, this will be a huge effing problem. And I'm not joking when I say that. Like, if you're in Wichita, would hate to be here. Not a great setup. And I know we've got somebody on our weather team, and I know Jan's probably not in here, so we're going to have to give her a talking to on that, babe. But Wednesday looks very gross in this area. I'm not a fan of this on the her. Jeez Louise. Steph, get out of here with that. I know what you mean, too. I mean, tomorrow looks really good in Nebraska, and then this is going to shunt west. I mean, guys, this is ridiculous. I don't want to rule Oklahoma out. I don't. I've seen something like this before. Surface low is right here. This is anything in this area would be really bad. Really, really bad. I don't like to see this amount of instability on Tuesday. Not great. Oh, shucks. There we go. No. That's not good. Let's take some soundings here. Let's go near OKC. 85 over 76, non-capped. It's not capped. There's no capping here, and that's after 6 p.m. on Tuesday. So that's not an issue. It's not good. It's not a good issue to have, or it's not a not good issue to have. Let's go up here near the warm front, near the surface low. All right, gonna be wind and hail. I believe we're gonna have to kind of watch things broaden out here just a little bit more. Southern Kansas, yikes! Your STP is maxed out. It doesn't go higher than that. It's maxed out. It is 11 out of 11, which means I honestly, if we get a supercell that can fire off in this direction or in this area here, somebody's gonna see a bad tornado and it's not gonna be good. That's what this environment would be favorable for. And there will more than likely be a 10% hatch tornado risk here, so we're going to have to watch this very closely. Instability is pushing 6K at the surface, 82 over 76, beautifully mixed sounding here. Winds out of the southwest, just curved all the way down here. This is for Tuesday in Wichita, guys, Wichita, Kansas. I don't like this. This is not a good sounding. It's a good sounding, it's a beautiful sounding, but it's not a good sounding if you don't want tornadoes.
New information. This flash flood warning.
These are going to be the tornado parameters, and these are probably going to shock a lot of people. But bear with me here.
New information.
The HER is only updated to 6 p.m. on Tuesday, so we're not even fully maxed out yet. But these are the tornado parameters just at 6 p.m. with no storms in the area.
This flash flood warning
for Wichita, Kansas, and in around the area here on Tuesday.
A new severe thunderstorm.
Yeah, there it is. There's the one I was waiting for right there. PDS Tour. So that's just outside. That's going to be south of Hutchinson. It's not good. I don't like that. That would be a very, very bad setup here. So we'll watch this. We'll see what happens. Let me look at our helicity index. This is going to be another big story to look at.
New information.
Yeah, helicity is not going to be an issue either. Our 0 to 1 kilometer AGL is not a problem. So it's going to be a matter of where storms initiate at. We'll kind of keep watching this here. What is the NAM 3K doing with this?
New information. This flash flood warning has been updated.
God bless America. God, that just gets... It's not good. That's not good. Jeez Louise. All right. Does the Rufus go this far out? I'm curious. The Rufus shows it too. I don't even want to look at what the Rufus has for the Ohio Valley on Thursday. We'll look at that here in a second. It does show all the way through on Thursday. If I don't stop seeing my state every time I tune in, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Vanessa.
A new severe thunderstorm.
Here's the Rufus for, let's go to Tuesday.
Warning.
Oh my God.
Has been issued.
That's not good. Big old bow echo. That would be like a moderate risk wind threat.
New information.
On the fact that the Rufus model is going linear with this is actually quite insane. Jeez Louise.
New information.
It just explodes. Oh, that would be awful. That is a nasty bow echo.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
This would be very identical to what we just had in Texas. I see a big risk zone change coming if the HER trends with this.
Warning has been updated.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. And then you get into Wednesday with the low spinning, and then we don't want to talk about that. What does it do? What does it do for Wednesday? Hold on a second. Oh, God. Hey, there you go, Ro. I love that. That's beautiful. I absolutely love that.
Has been updated.
I love that for everybody in the Ohio Valley. Oh, I love this. This is awesome. This is just a beautiful Wednesday afternoon across the Ohio Valley. That's cute. That's beautiful. That's like baby cute right there. Dude, we just can't catch a break here. Like, it's just been nonstop since like February. That's adorable. That's like you know what? I don't even know. I don't have words for this. This is about as cute as a baby being born. This is like newborn baby cuteness. I don't even want to know what Thursday looks like, but let me go look at the NAM because this is going to show the tornado parameters and I believe the reflectivity. Linear is interesting. Okay, let's look at dew points on NAM. God, the fact that our dew points today were in the 70s is insane. Oh my, are we pushing the 80s on Wednesday? The dew points are pushing the 80s on Wednesday. That is disgusting. 77 across Western Kentucky. 70s upper. This is disgusting. This is nasty. I don't like this. All right, we'll take a marginal severe sounding. That's gonna be in the 90s with dew points in almost the 80s. That's foul.
A new flash flood warning has been issued.
Ugh, gross, grossy gross. Dude, honestly, too, it's gonna feel like 100+ outside. I'm not a fan of it.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Let's look at these temperatures. I'm curious. Oh yeah, we're touching the 90s on Wednesday. Look at that, right around peak heating. We're all in the 90s almost, with dew points in the 70s, almost 80s. With a severe weather setup. These don't typically end very well, guys. Just a heads up. Yeah, very new to South Central Kentucky. Yeah, welcome to South Central Kentucky, V. Welcome to the world of Kentucky, where it's great. We live in Western Kentucky, and it's brutal here too. Welcome to the Ohio River Valley, where it sucks. That's just gross. Ugh. Look, the overnight lows are in the 80s. Like, let's talk about that. The overnight lows on Thursday are in the 80s.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Ugh. All right, yeah, let's look at the instability, and then we'll go look at the TOR parameters, because this is the NAM, so the NAM's going to do some interesting things. God bless it. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, gross. Look at the instability. Ugh. Right along the cold front, too. This is nasty.
A new considerable severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
91 degrees over 77. Gross. Gross instability. Gross. All right, let's look at the tornado parameters. I know these are going to shock me, probably. Not too bad, actually. Not too bad. It does do some interesting things over Iowa. But that's overnight Tuesday and Wednesday. Kind of a weird slinky. It's an outflow boundary slinky.
Warning, a new special marine warning has been issued.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I do want to go up to sweet old Minnesota for just a minute and take a look at tomorrow again. Oh, damn, the NAM goes crazy tomorrow. Let me go Rufus for tomorrow so I can make Manders happy. Thank you, V, for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, I had a lot of Minnesota people comment on my video today, too. What is the tornado parameters doing in... What is this? Gross. Okay. Manders, let's do this for you, shall we? Well, that's disappointing. You don't get nothing, Manders. That's really disappointing. Nothing. That sucks. Have fun with that, Manners. Gracie, you don't have room to talk. You got some fun on both on Tuesday and on Wednesday.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
It just puts like a disgusting line of storms moving through northern Minnesota. You know, I still can't get over this. All right, we're going to go back to Kansas for a minute. I still can't get over this. What in God's green earth is this? This is insane for Tuesday. Tomorrow and Tuesday are going to be exhausting. You know, we're not getting a lot of tornado warnings or anything today, but tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday will be different. Sadly. I'm just trying to wrap my head around that. So, we'll see what happens. Good old model runs. Gotta love them.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been...
Have we got anything destructive yet? I don't think so. Yeah, these winds are still pushing some pretty strong outflow. Could be getting close to 80 in there. We'll see. We might actually be getting some 80-mile-an-hour winds in that storm. Texas is going to be fine for much of the week. I don't expect much other than general thunderstorms, the occasional potential for some flash flooding with training storms, but you guys should mostly be okay. Shouldn't see too much of an issue. Yeah, it shouldn't be much of an issue. So, I may not stay on here too much longer, guys. We don't have too much other than some wind and some hail happening today. I want to save most of the energy for tomorrow. We're going to be on here pretty early tomorrow. I'm probably going to start stream. If this morning time convection does anything tomorrow, we'll probably honestly start stream around 11 a.m. I'll be up early tomorrow, so I can get the stuff out to you guys. We'll probably have some pretty big updates. I wouldn't be shocked to see a day 2 moderate, honestly, for Tuesday down in Kansas, but I think it's still a little bit uncertain on that because it's an MCS day. We'll see the weather hype. Thank you guys for all the follows. I do appreciate it. Guys, also do not forget to subscribe to me on YouTube. We go live on both platforms at the same time. I'm trying to grow that YouTube channel as well. Once again, if you would like to become a member on YouTube, all you have to do is head over there. Either pay. There's 3 different options you can use to become a member. It's like $4.99 for the perk 1 or for tier 1. Tier 2 is $9, and then tier 3 is $19. But the perks get better as you go up. So we've got 1 membership right now. So whoever would like to be a second, if we could get a second tonight, that'd be freaking awesome. I always like to have one goal where if we get 1 new member a day, that'd be freaking awesome.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Pennsylvania Thursday. We got to watch and see what happens. Damaging winds look to be the primary threat, Patrick, for you guys. Missouri will be wild this week as well, both on Tuesday and on Wednesday, more than likely. So we'll have to see what happens there with that. That'll be fun. Jennifer, you're so stinking cute. What are you doing, babies? You're so cute. You're so chunky. You're so chunky. Arr. All right.
Severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
SBC just did some wonky stuff. You wanna come sit?
New information.
Come
This
here,
severe
the
thunderstorm warning has been updated.
chunkers. It's the purse. It's the purse. She's freaking adorable. This cat is amazing. I love this cat beyond words. Alyssa, what's up? Good to see you in here. Girl, you've been grinding out your live streams. I've been seeing you live like all the time. What's up, Jazzy? Good to see you. Good evening as well. Good to see you guys coming in here. So we've got a wild stretch, guys, of severe weather. Once again, 5+ days in a row of significant severe weather on the table. Possibly even a big-time tornado threat in Kansas on Tuesday. Big one in Minneapolis, Minnesota tomorrow, potentially. And then we get things into the Missouri, the Midwest, and into the Ohio Valley, both on Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then moves into the Northeast on Thursday. So a very, very long week of severe weather in front of us here. There's tonight's risk zone. There is tomorrow's risk zone, double barrel enhanced risk, 5% TOR, 2%, wind threat at 30, hail threat at 30, 15 hatch. Going into day 3, Kansas is the big time player on the day 3 outlook. Then we've got a day 4 outlook, and then a day 5 outlook. So a lot of severe weather to get through, guys, over the next couple of days. It's going to be wild. We're going to be popping out video updates. We'll be having lots of live streams. Today's one of those days. These high plains events typically are pretty dull. When we get things going tomorrow across like Minnesota, we have a more organized threat. It'll be a little bit more interesting in terms to kind of cover. So most of this line is just now kind of starting to get itself together.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Jennifer, oh Jennifer.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
New information. Jennifer has been updated. Oh, man. Well, y'all, I might get ready to wrap things up here in a minute. We've been on for almost 2 hours. Get
New
mad.
information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Wow. So, like I said, guys, we'll have coverage very early tomorrow because it looks like storms are probably going to initiate pretty early. If timing backs off, we'll wait clearly till storms get ready to initiate. But we'll be on the cover tomorrow in its entirety. That's my game plan. We'll be on here all day tomorrow. Get y'all through the day. We'll have cameras in Minnesota too if things do happen.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
New information. This has been updated. So, well, y'all, I think I'm going to wrap it up. If some crazy insanity happens while we're gone, we'll hop on for an emergency stream. But other than that, I'll have a video out to you guys between 9 and 10 tomorrow morning. We'll have a live stream tomorrow as well. Be safe, guys, if you're in risk zones tonight. Weather team, thank you guys as always for helping in stream. I do appreciate it very much. I love y'all. Be safe. Be weather aware. And we'll see you guys back in here tomorrow.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.